Fellas, ladies, I know that this channel isn't called John's Dating Tips, but here's a red flag I want you to pay attention for the next time you're out on a date, whether it's someone you met through a mutual friend or on Hinge. And the thing I want you to pay attention for is, how do they pay for the meal? I'm not saying, are you guys gonna split it? Are they gonna cover it? But how do they pay for that meal? Do they make a big deal out of whipping out their platinum card? Because if so, what you need to do is gather all your stuff and run. Don't walk, sprint on out of there, because that person is not it. And here's the two reasons why. One, someone who is using an American Express Platinum on a date, paying for food, paying for drinks, has no idea what they're doing in the credit card space. But two, and this is the one that you should really get bothered by, is the fact that they think you would be impressed by the fact that they have a Platinum, so much so that they make a big deal saying, you know what, I've got it, I'll put it on my Platinum. But yet, because you follow me for all the daily finance tips, you understand that, wait a minute, you use a Platinum, so you're gonna get 1 point per dollar on this meal? Why don't you use a Chase Sapphire Reserve for 3x? Why not a Capital One Venture X for 2x? Heck, why not the best beginner no annual fee card, a Capital One Quicksilver for 1.5% cash back? No, you're not gonna use any of those cards, but you're gonna make a big deal out of using your American Express Platinum? Yeah. Next. Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, hello, my name is John of John's Finance Tips. In today's video, I am breaking down for you the exact reasons as to why you need to cancel your American Express Platinum or consider another card alternative. Because the truth is, folks, I am just so sick of all the videos I see online talking about how luxurious and prestigious an American Express Platinum is. How, oh, you know you've made it when you have a Platinum card. The fact of the matter is, I've had over 50 credit cards. I've had a Platinum. I've also had just Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Venture X. I've had pretty much every card you can imagine, and I am here to tell you one thing. A credit card does not confer status to anybody. Unless you have a black card or a palladium. Then you are spending a lot of money and you're rich, and yes, that is status. But for the everyday person, any other card that is not invite only does not confer status. I have a Platinum. I am not special. If you have a Platinum, I'm really sorry to say it, you're also not special. It is a card that serves a purpose. What is that purpose? Probably for some travel perks, but that is it. It doesn't extend anywhere beyond that. And in my earlier dating example, somebody who's gonna go out of their way to show off that they have a Platinum, probably isn't a person that I'd say I wanna go on a second date with, especially because they're not even optimizing for the meal. So this video is gonna break down as such. We're gonna talk about the sign-up bonus, the earnings potential, the benefits of the card, the annual fee, my final verdict, and of course, some recommendations for cards to consider that are not the American Express Platinum. That sounds like a plan though. Go ahead, tap that thumb icon. We're gonna go ahead and dive right in. The American Express Platinum comes with a sign-up bonus anywhere from 80,000 to 100,000 points after you spend $6,000 within the first 6 months. Now, keep in mind with American Express, you only get one bonus per lifetime, so you really wanna be cognizant of where you're getting that sign-up bonus from. Overall, the American Express Platinum tends to give a really solid sign-up bonus, especially given the fact that you have over 6 months to meet the minimum spend requirement. And of course, if you're having difficulties, try to use friends, take a look at big purchases, or potentially even pay taxes using your card. This card will earn you 5 points for every single dollar you spend on prepaid hotel bookings through Amex Travel, and you will also earn 5 points per dollar spent on booking flights either direct with an airline or through Amex Travel, and you'll earn 1 point per dollar spent everywhere else. Now looking at it, the 5x for flight earnings is incredible. The 1x earnings for everything else, that's it. I mean, it feels like you just kind of go off a cliff. You got 5x for flights, great, and then 1x everything else. I feel as if for a card of this caliber, there could be something in between for a 2x, 3x, 4x, but it's really kind of an all or nothing. Either you fly a lot or you don't. And this is where some people, you know, either hate or love it, where the American Express Platinum can really shine or become a bloated coupon book. And here's what I mean by that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the credits that I think first are useful on the American Express Platinum. You will get every year a $240 entertainment credit. Now that can be used for things like a Disney bundle, but a Disney bundle only costs $12.99 a month. Then you have other things on here like, I don't know, the New York Times or Audible, which, yeah, I could argue you may or may not actually end up using. You also get a $200 Uber credit every single year, as well as a $100 Saks credit that you have to use biannually, meaning you can use $50 in the first 6 months of the year and $50 in the back half of the year. Next, we'll then go on to some of the meh credits, you're gonna get a $300 credit to Equinox every year. You're also gonna get a $200 hotel credit. However, to get the credit, you have to book your hotel through Amex Travel, whether part of the Fine Hotel and Resorts collection or the hotel collection with a 2-night minimum. And those hotels tend to be a little bit pricier. You'll also get a $200 credit to cover airline incidentals, which doesn't necessarily involve flights. And so it's for things like checked bags or seats or Wi-Fi. There are some workarounds in which you can use it for flights where you basically buy a gift card. This is specific to Delta. You buy a Delta gift card, you book the flight using the gift card, and the other leftover portion using it in your American Express Platinum. Be sure to select Delta as your airline of choice. That's a lot of effort for using an incidental credit because it seems like, wow, I'm really trying to stretch it to go ahead and get the value out of these credits. There's also a $155 credit to Walmart Plus. This card also has some travel credits, namely in the way of a $189 credit to Clear and a $100 credit to Global Entry / TSA PreCheck. Now, if we just looked at it in a vacuum, oh yes, this thing is loaded to the brim with credits. But if I really sit down and think about it, for the average everyday person, a lot of these credits are just nothing burgers. I mean, it really is going out of your way to extract value from them. I would say though, the 3 that I really like are gonna be the entertainment credit, the Uber credit, and the $100 Saks credit. The rest though is gonna be so specific case by case that it's hard to say unless you actually spend or want to spend in those categories. And here's where we want to pause and contrast this to a Chase Sapphire Reserve where the credit is a $300 travel credit. You swipe the card, and if it's travel, you get a credit. That's it. You don't have to think about it. It's not in monthly installments. It's just swipe and go. You take a look at the Venture X, you get a $300 travel credit. You go into Capital One Travel, you book travel, $300 credit applied. And you get another $100 credit just for having the card every single year. You see how much easier those credits are to use than this where it's, okay, every month I have to remember we've got dining, we've got Equinox, we've got Walmart Plus, don't forget Saks, but every 6 months. You almost have to have a spreadsheet to keep track of it. And when I think about using a credit card, well, technically I do use a spreadsheet, but I imagine the everyday person does not want to keep a spreadsheet of, did I use this credit this month? Okay, yes, no. Like that's just honestly frustrating. And it comes back down to the usability of the card. Next up, we have some of the other benefits of the card. Now I will give Amex credit here. This is, I think, where it shines above those other 2 cards. So when we take a look at the American Express Platinum, you're gonna get access to the American Express Centurion Lounge Network, which I would argue are some of the best domestic lounges, period. You're also gonna get access to Delta Sky Clubs if you're flying Delta same day ticket. You'll also get access to the Lufthansa Group lounges when you are flying on Lufthansa. So that includes Lufthansa as well as Swiss and some of their other partner airlines in Europe, and of course the standard priority pass lounges. I would say this is where the Amex shines above all else. If you fly, whether it's Delta, Lufthansa Group, or you fly through an airport with Centurion Lounge, this is gonna be a card you really wanna consider, given the fact that I think these are some of the better lounges that you're gonna find domestically. The American Express Platinum also gives you gold status at Hilton as well as Marriott's. What that means though is not much in the US. Trust me, you're not getting that much in terms of an upgrade, if that. However, if you're abroad, you might be able to eke out an upgrade here or there if you're in Asia, maybe Europe, but home domestically, you're way better off looking at something like an Amex Bonvoy Brilliant or an Amex Hilton Aspire for top tier status that can actually get you some status upgrades. The American Express Platinum also offers purchase protection, which covers up to $10,000 for items that are stolen, damaged, or lost. Like you lost something. You bought it, within 90 days, it's lost. Well, you file a claim, covers up to $10,000, $50,000 a year in claims. It also has return protection, which is one of my favorite. Basically, you buy an item from somewhere, you go and return it, and they say no, but it's within 90 days of purchase and you bought it on an Amex, typically covers up to $300. So Amex basically says, okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and just cut you the check for, again, as long as it's under $300, for the most part, you keep the item. Now, should you use this as a hack to keep an item? No, but it's a great hack for places like Apple with 2-week return policies. Like, come on, who does that? Today, really? So all in, we take a look at the American Express Platinum. I'm hoping that this is kind of painting a picture of what this card is meant for. And again, it's certainly not meant for the everyday person. So we take a look at the annual fee, $695. Folks, that's nearly $700 on a card. So it better be delivering me $700 of value easily every single year. Well, if I think about it, like I said, the 3 credits I liked are entertainment, Uber, as well as Saks. Uber and Saks, pretty easy that you could roughly get the value from. Entertainment though, again, what's useful to me is the Disney bundle. Disney bundle includes Disney Plus, Hulu, as well as ESPN. So you add that up, that's $12.99 a month. You do $695 minus the Disney bundle costs, minus the Uber Eats, minus out the Saks Fifth Ave. This card comes in at $239.12 a year. That's hefty. Now, Is it the highest? No, actually, technically the Chase Sapphire Reserve, if you take out just its $300 credit, comes in at $250 a year. So it's not the most expensive, but yet you are still paying for the card. But I'm sure someone in the audience is thinking, well, hey, listen, I'm gonna pull up the Equinox credit. I wanna use the Walmart Plus credit. Then I would say, if that's you, absolutely, this is a card you wanna take a look at. However, for a lot of people, they just don't like tracking stuff, me included. Now, because I do fly through airports with the Centurion lounges, I do fly Delta here and there, and I do book a lot of flights, that's largely why I have the card. But if you're not in one of these cases where you're a road warrior and traveling aggressively, it might not make a whole ton of sense. Who is this card for? Like I said, the road warrior, the person who is traveling, you're using all the travel perks, you're using the statuses, all of that, then you should definitely jump on this card. 2, someone who is just chasing points. Listen, 80, 100, 125,000 points, that's a huge bonus, jump on it. Then 1 year later, call Amex, be like, hey Amex, listen, I don't know if I wanna keep the card, and see if they give you a retention offer of, here's 20,000 points, just hang on to the card. Here's 40,000 points, will you spend $2,000 with us? That could be worthwhile, and I've actually done that once with Amex already. And the last person this is for is someone who wants to commit the time to pulling out every single credit. If that is you, yeah, absolutely. There are credits to be had on this card. Now, who isn't this card for? This card isn't for someone who just wants a simple travel card. This card isn't for someone who's looking for something that gives you outsized value with little work. This card isn't for anyone who actually likes to save money on their spend. And lastly, this card is not for someone trying to chase actual status in society. That one I want to put a period on, because trust me, folks, this card, I just want to say, folks, doesn't make me special, doesn't make you special, does not convert societal status. Yes, you technically get hotel status. That's a different story. Instead, if you want to look at cards that are easy, no frills travel, take a look at the Venture X. It'll pay you $5 essentially, and you're gonna get a lot of these travel benefits. Heck, if you're looking for a no annual fee card that's gonna give you some of the premium travel benefits, namely in the form of transfer partners, take a look at the Built MasterCard, no annual fee. Folks, this has been a quick one, but hopefully I got the point across. Please comment in the comment section down below. Do you have the American Express Platinum? Are you considering canceling the American Express Platinum? And do you agree with the statement that for the most part, for the everyday person, the American Express Platinum is not it? It's not the best card for most folks who are just looking to do a little bit of work for some outsized value. You have to do a lot of work for a good amount of outsized value. If you'd like to support the channel anyway, folks, feel free to check out my affiliate links down below. Peace.